What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly show where we talk about the stuff in the news that excites us. We're chilling, we're relaxing, just three guys, and we're having a good time.
Just guys being guys.
Uh, Steve's rocking some Taco Bell. I'm actually really jealous.
I know, right?
Let's jump right into the news. I'll get us started because mine's real brief, real quick, real concise. New Magic set has been announced for September 9th, 2022 release date. Dominaria New United. We're going back to one of the most famous planes in all of Magic, where we've met Teferi and all that kind of stuff. But the real exciting news about this isn't just that we got a new set that looks to be pretty crazy so far, but Magic the Gathering creators, Wizards of the Coast, claimed that they found in a warehouse, I believe in Washington, I could be wrong about the location, but in a warehouse somewhere, they found a pallet of a set called Legends, which is a very old set, and it has a ton of what's called reserved list cards on it, meaning they're not in print anymore, they're never going to print them again, and they're just shoving these cards into random Dominaria United packs. If you have a second to Google, just look up MTG Tabernacle and look at the price tag on that. That could just be in a random pack because they quote unquote found a pallet of them somewhere. So this is the first time we're getting reserve list cards in a pack ever that I'm aware of. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. That you could open a like $1,500 card in your $12 pack.
Did they also find the Lost Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah. Just
too?
found them mint condition cards from Legends, one of the oldest sets in recent memory. So yeah, just hanging out somewhere in a warehouse. So those will be thrown into your packs. So people are very, very, very excited, and I'm sure the price of the boxes are just going to go through the roof.
Gotcha game.
Yep. Anyway,
Gotcha
that's
game.
my news.
We were going to chat a little bit and hang out, but Corey just went straight in, baby. Corey, I like their style. You go straight to business. You raw dog like when we were 16 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But Steve's, you or me? Do you want to do the news, or I feel like you have news and then I have news.
Do you need to keep eating your tacos? Do you need more time?
I'm gonna pause on my taco.
Okay.
Is this news that is not what occurred?
Well, how about you
weekend?
do? I know you had some news, so we're all probably going to pop in about the weekend stuff. So how about you go?
So the weekend. So outside
about
the weekend stuff.
about the man that walks like this.
Yes. The guy who does this, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, back with your wrestling news. It's been a big one last week because I believe it was Friday, where an icon in professional wrestling history, a fixture, a well-known name for over 40 years, Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. announced his retirement.
The meme himself.
From chairman and CEO of the World Wrestling Entertainment. That's right. Vince McMahon fired himself. No. He announced retirement.
Out of the business.
Unbelievable.
Nothing to do with any certain news that may have hit recently. Absolutely nothing to do with any NDAs or
it's not personal
expressions. None of that. He just felt it was time to retire because that's what he tweeted.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is a big shakeup in the world of wrestling because McMahon has been the man in the business for so long. He has many victories under his waist when it comes to the industry, having defeated Ted Turner and WCW, having bought up so many independent circuits, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing. Mm-hmm. That's what he did
Snapped
throughout the 80s.
Both his quads and continued the scene.
Continued to stay in character without showing any pain on his face.
To cosplay as Donald Trump for some reason, being a baby on the ground.
Yes.
That had to hurt, right? Like that had to.
Oh yeah. That's a
many
performance level that a politician wishes they can do.
From Stone Cold, many rock bottoms from The Rock, many pedigrees from Triple H. Speaking of which, this now switches up, of course, the people who are running the business now. His daughter, Stephanie McMahon Levesque, is now the chairwoman and co-CEO of the company.
Was this your
She will
prediction
be-
or no?
This is what we kind of thought was going to happen.
Okay.
Anything, whatever, short of the board saying we don't want any McMahons involved, give it to NBC. This is what we kind of assumed would happen. Stephanie has become the co-CEO along with WWE President Nick Khan. So the two will serve as co-CEOs, and Stephanie will be the sole chairwoman. Vince's son-in-law, husband to Stephanie, Paul Levesque, also known as Triple H, will step up
I know
as
him.
you know that guy is one of the DX guys.
Yeah.
He will move up to executive vice president and announced today he is going to be head of creative, which was formerly Vince McMahon's position. Triple H is now in charge of all storytelling in the company. What stars are in this story, who goes for the title, all that is going to be planned out by Triple H himself.
It's going to be heroics.
How do we feel about this?
Humor and heart.
I want to know. I want to know for real. How do you feel about that?
However, many wrestling WWE fans have felt about Vince, and we both loved him and hated him at different times in life. The hating has gone stronger lately. Many wrestling fans have really respected and loved Triple H for his devotion to the industry, not just the company WWE, but professional wrestling in general. He got credit for starting the NXT program, the young guys who are coming up before they make it to the big show, and that program itself was getting rave reviews when it comes to wrestling. He and Shawn Michaels are running that together. So many have thought that Triple H and Stephanie were going to be the progressive minds in the company once Vince did relinquish power. They see more ideas coming from them. The problem is Vince was always in charge of everything, head of creative, running the show as CEO. Everything went through him because he did not want to give up that power that he's had since the 80s. So now we get to see, will Triple H continue that? I'm a Triple H fan when it comes to running the industry. I think the guy's got a fantastic mind for someone who isn't known for being generations in the company. He's not like Rock, who's like a third generation, or guys who've had their dads in there. Triple H
legacy
yeah,
wrestlers.
Not a legacy wrestler. He was the first, and he went in there and he's proven himself. In my opinion, he's a worker. So I think he will devote himself to trying to run the company. The rumors are they're going to be going TV 14 again, which they have to because AEW has been giving us TV 14, and many of us miss the TV 14 content. So they're going to be going.
They've been PG.
They've been PG ever since the late 2000s when Linda McMahon decided to run for something in office. That's when they went PG. And that was like late 2000s. So it's been the PG era since then. And that's why John Cena dropped the rapping and some of his, controversial raps and became more of Hulk Hogan and jorts. That's when that all happened. So they're going to be going TV 14 because AEW is going to be competition. And some of us want to see, not gushing blood, but a little bit, just a little bit.
Like when Vince McMahon stabbed Hulk Hogan in the face with a pen to sign a contract. Like that's burned in my retinas.
Yes. Or when Undertaker stabbed Brock Lesnar's hand with a pen and then signed it with his blood on the contract.
A lot of pen stabbing going on.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
They use tax too. Anyway, there's your news.
When mankind fell through.
Vince is gone, and Stephanie and Triple H running the show. By the way, Nick Khan, the co-CEO and current president, is the sister of the showrunner of the show Young Rock.
You said this last time.
Nick Khan and Rock have known each other since they were kids. Just saying. Just I had to. There it is. I just had to disrupt. I had to disrupt. That's what I did. Or if you're reading it, tippered.
No, it's disrupt.
No, it is okay. Cool.
It's not a mirror.
It's not a mirror.
It's not a mirror. And that
nobody knows what you're talking about, crazy man.
No.
And that's not Black Adam. That's the Flash symbol. Okay.
No,
moving on.
This is the official Black Adam shirt.
Before I get started on my thing, we didn't do a little thing. A little ritual before we get started. We do a little bit of now. We're gonna do a mid clap sync for us.
Is Zorian one Anthony Steves? Oh, not that. Okay.
You gotta give me. You gotta clap that booty.
Oh well,
God.
okay.
Oh God.
Steves.
No, we're
Caitlin.
Josh, we're doing it.
There we
we're
go.
doing it, y'all. But now we're gonna get into the big stuff. Not saying that any of the stuff that was talking was not the big stuff. Yep. Oh, we gotta get.
Oh yeah.
The claps in the chat. Claps. And
There we go.
There it is.
All right.
There you go. Everything's big today. This one just takes a super long.
That's what she said.
Not to me. But God. This just takes a long time because there's just fucking too many things. So Josh wanted to mention certain things. I think next week he will have some time to talk about it. So I'm going to mention them right now so that you guys know that it's mentioned here or there. Spawn Batman crossover, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book sequel, John Wick 4, The Walking Dead spin-offs, Interview with the Vampire, MCU stuff, mainly Daredevil doing a Born Again series.
Right.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, and then we're gonna lead into SDCC. Because this is kind of like a follow-up from last week's news, where last week it was on the eve of a certain Daddy Zacky Snidey movie coming out on digital, and Rolling Stone released an article that was pretty much like, the funny thing was like it was just a reiteration of like all of the bad press that Snyder Cut fans and everything that happened with the Justice League came out again. And so it was like there was nothing really new out of it. But it insinuated that a majority of the Snyder Cut fans and released the Snyder Cut was perpetuated, inflated, ran by bots. And the actual numbers break down that these are the particular numbers that you could hold on to, was 13% of the user base was bots. And a lot of people, Variety, Deadline, Forbes, all kind of gathered around and said, like, that's not kind of headline worthy. And there's nothing more you can really say to it. Ended up getting a lot of people riled up, obviously, and it came out right before the day of the digital release. So obviously it feels like foul play, like when Ray Fisher kind of started talking about his experiences working with Warner Brothers, and then Deadline released an article saying that Jason Momoa will be playing Frosty the Snowman. It's very
Jason Momoa was like, no, I fucking won't.
Yeah, and
that's my favorite part.
It's very on par to see like these like articles come out before any big Snyder Cut stuff. Like the day before the Snyder Cut was released, it was leaked on the Tom and Jerry movie, and then through this Rolling Stone report, there was a lot of accusations saying that Zack Snyder was the one that leaked it, and that Zack Snyder was the one that like hired all these bots and stuff like that, when there was a lot of different companies at play. And it's just really weird that like Warner Brothers Discovery, which is technically a whole new entity, which is different than Warner Media, and a lot of these things were literally quoted from Warner Media executives. So it's like these people may not even be currently hired anymore. And a lot of people are expecting that it be Jeff Johns and Toby Emmerich, because there were such quotes like, Zack Snyder said that I'm going to destroy them all on social media. And then and everyone kind of was like, who talks like that? No one talks like that. So there was just like a lot of question claims to it. Anyways, that led into a Deadline rumor, which was that Henry Cavill might make an appearance as Superman. And Steve's, I think you'll know where I'm going to get to at an eventuality. And guess what? He didn't fucking show up at all because he's shooting The Witcher. And it kind of really, I just hope everyone in the world kind of thinks like, maybe don't trust headlines all the time. Also, especially if the sources can't be like, like this person exactly said this, but it's like a source said this. And it's like, I know there's a thing in journalism and with the reporting that you do have to keep your sources kind of protected, but it's just like, you know, it's as simple as like, I heard you could find Mew underneath a truck because my dad works at Nintendo, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That being said, the two DC films that kind of had the big red carpet were Shazam and Black Adam. Now, with both films, they're both actually kind of really related. A lot of controversy is that they actually won't be playing too much in tandem with each other, and they kind of feel like two separate attempts. But like, people here, I hope you guys know this, as Steve, you know this, The Rock has been attached to Shazam for 9 years. There are people who are literally like growing up learning to love DC, who've like known The Rock is going to play either Shazam or Black Adam throughout their entire lifetime.
Lots of fan art that feature him already in the suit.
Yeah, and there was always a conversation of like whether he should play Black Adam or should he play Billy Batson or Shazam, Captain Marvel, and I think both trailers were better than their initial releases and all that stuff. I think they were both widely accepted. Like, oh, these are good. We like these and where they're going. I think the tough thing that everyone's asking is like, where's Henry Cavill? And then The Rock was asked a question twice, in particular, one on stage and then one off stage was. Who wins in a fight between Black Adam and Superman? And The Rock, People's Champion, definitely knows how to talk. He's been through a couple press conferences before, and he says like, they're close. Pound for pound, it's really close, and it just all depends on who's playing Superman. The same answer that James Gunn said, who's playing Superman. And that's a point of contention for a lot of people because a lot of people, more people who there are more people than people who want the Snyderverse restored that just want Henry Cavill back in general. And the fact that Warner Brothers hasn't been able to say anything about it or they don't know who's playing it has been a point of a big contention of the ideology of that, like, Marvel understands the assignment and they know how to like answer the fans' call. Like, a certain actor made a cameo in a movie and they haven't said like if that's going to be the de facto version of that character or that's just a multiversal variant of that character. It could be someone else. I wasn't trying to spoil it for anyone that hasn't watched it, Steve's, but
it's on Disney Plus for a month already. I'm sorry.
All right. That being said, not being able to say like Henry Cavill isn't Superman, but just saying like we don't know who's playing him is a little concerning. And a lot of scoopers, a lot of people who are on the inside are saying that the reason why is because Henry Cavill doesn't want to sign a contract with Warner Brothers at all because what so far they have planned up is just a line of cameos, not a solo film, and he won't have any kind of creative control or any like speaking power of like how Superman gets portrayed. And to me, I'm just kind of like, guys, Warner Brothers, I know that you guys are going through so much shit right now. Get it together.
Fucking easy win. It's a fucking easy win, man.
Give him carte blanche. Give him the fucking Downey treatment because I promise you, you will be rewarded. Even if it's not as big as any Avengers shit, just give him the fucking thing. Say it on the belt. Be like, Henry Cavill's a Superman. We're fucking greenlighting every movie, and we got his soul. Now he has to be in every goddamn movie and have cameos. So whatever, right? And then the second...
In that second interview, Rock did say that Henry Cavill is the Superman of our generation. So it kind of felt like Rock was trying to tip it in Henry's favor without actually saying.
I mean, we all know he wants Henry.
Like they're friends.
He has not been sly about it.
They're friends. Yeah. They're managed by the same manager, or represented by the same manager.
And The Rock also is like very in tune with what fans want. And like you said, Tom, there's a large audience of people who want Henry Cavill, and there's no way that The Rock does not know that.
Yeah, no, and so that's the thing where it's like spill the beans, and again even more things. But anyways, this all kind of gets convoluted even more to a Jim Lee panel. Where he was doing some artwork, and someone asked like, "Hey, like I know you did some work on the Snyder Cut and all that stuff, and it's like really cool to see that stuff out. It's like, do you think any more stuff will happen in the future?" And he, is the chairman of DC Comic Books. I think a lot of people misconstrue that DC Comics is in charge of their films. It's not. And he, if anything, they just say like, "Hey, can we use this character?" And he pretty much is like, "You're the parent company." Yes. It's like pretty much Paramount being like, could we make an Avatar The Last Airbender movie? It's like, you own me. Do whatever you want. And that being said, a lot of people got all mad. It's like, oh, he's against it. It's like he's been an advocate to let just the DC characters have a live action presence. So anyone watching or listening that is a Snyder Cut fan, do not attack Jim Lee. That's fucking poor bullshit. Outside of that, fucking Sandman had a trailer. That looked amazing. Wakanda Forever. Let's have a moment. Let's talk about it a little bit. I think we all knew
the best trailers I've ever seen.
I think we all knew that this was going to become a hat trick, right? This was going to be like, how are they going to do this? How are they going to take one of the most culturally impactful movies of our time, of our generation, and follow up without the lead actor, especially, if his passing away happened off screen, X, Y, and Z. And what I think we got, and I want everyone to kind of talk about it, but it's like I think we got an emotional kind of like preparation of the like, this is going to be the next step forward, but it's going to be completely in his memory, and I think it was very moving.
I gotta say this real quick, right out the gates. Angela Bassett delivering delivering probably one of the greatest, just in a
Ripping.
trailer, greatest acted lines in a Marvel movie probably
Oh,
to date.
ripped it out. She just ripped it out. She did.
My God, yeah, it's the score, hey, it's our first mutant. Am I wrong within the
Namor.
MCU? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that's also very exciting for multifaceted excitement for this trailer.
I saw a cool tweet about the representation regarding the two Atlantean kings. It had the actor playing Namor and Momoa as Aquaman,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like King Atlantean Latino hero, King Atlantean Hawaiian hero. Representation matters. I thought that was really cool.
There is a lot of thing where it's like, I don't do we, and that's the question. It's like I think Marvel has been pretty good on the spot of not changing characters, like making a mutant and making him a person who's not white passing. I think was a big move, and a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think people have to also kind of consider like Aquaman was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude, where Namor, it's not too much of a leap because he's still like jet black hair, and there wasn't too many like different features of it, but like Momoa's change was like way more drastic. But the idea that was allowed to happen gave us a chance to be like, this, unfortunately there's a lot of comic book, gatekeepers and stuff like that who would have like cried foul play of seeing, this iteration of Namor. And I think to me that's just cool, especially like the fact that the original title for Black Panther 2 was going to be Clash of Kings. And it was going to have the two kingdoms fighting, but we all know that the heart and soul of this film should be about what the subject matter. It looks like it's teasing.
Yeah. And to just one of the comments, first mutant on the big screen in the MCU. Yeah. So,
and I think it was cool.
Exciting.
They did choose cultures that actually, have this tie to the ocean. You got the Polynesian culture and you have some of the Aztec culture that have this connection to the ocean. So I thought that was great.
We got a sneak peek at Ironheart.
Which I when I saw it at first, I didn't know if I was going to enjoy that, because like a lot of people were saying like, oh, Shuri should become Ironheart. Then I was like,
no,
maybe another actor could portray another black character.
Yeah,
because not one black character or black person should be all the black characters. But then my
speculation is she's taking over like in the comics when T'Challa disappeared for years, she became Black Panther.
Yeah, and so I don't know, like, how is Ironheart going to get introduced into this, but maybe it could be that like a lot of this movie is about like this younger generation taking over. I don't know, but go ahead, Steve.
I had a hypothesis of how I think she gets to Wakanda.
Let us know your hypotenuse.
Nice.
I was just gonna say that.
Part of me thinks Dominique Thorne is like 25 right now, so we're not sure how young of a Riri she's going to be playing in this movie. Will she be the 15-year-old Riri? Will she be Riri a little older? We don't know yet. What I was considering is, if they keep her the way she is in the comics, what if she was one of those students at MIT who got their project fully funded by Tony Stark at the beginning of Civil War, when he said everyone's projects are funded for? What if she's in that group? And part of after getting her project funded, she ends up taking like an internship or a workplace thing with what T'Challa set up at the end of Black Panther. And that's her connection into Wakanda. That's what I was wondering. That's how she gets there.
I was saying it'd be. I like that. My version of it is at the end of Black Panther 1, how they set up that Oakland Wakanda embassy.
That's what I meant.
She goes through there and then learns and like has an exchange program.
That's what he was saying.
That's what I mean. My bad. That's what I mean. Like she goes from MIT getting her project fully funded by Tony, and then eventually makes it to the Oakland project that Wakanda put on, and that's how she gets to Wakanda with Shuri.
Maybe that's the only reason. I'm thinking of Ryan Coogler, right? I'm thinking of Ryan Coogler. They ain't no pedigree here. Someone straight from Oakland who was just never discovered went straight to
other way around.
Like, they never went to MIT, as in like they were never discovered by quote unquote America. But then it wasn't until Wakanda came in and was like, we understand how important you are, and then now we're gonna give you those resources. But she does she's like, I always wanted to be part of Barf and whatever program Stark had, and then she's like, I looked up to him
because the fact that she's hammering her suit in there, and I'm like, the hammer is like even the sound, and oh my god, okay, all right.
But what else happened? House of Dragons, Rings of Power, Corey.
Mhm.
You want to talk a little bit about that at all?
I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people it's very on the fence about this show. I'm for it. I'm all for it. Look, I think a
Lord
lot
of
of
the
people
Rings.
are really yeah. I think a
Yeah,
lot of people are really tied
I'm
to
in.
Peter Jackson's trilogy, which I'm here. Look at me. I'm the guy talking about it. They're great. It's a perfect trilogy in my opinion.
This
This
motherfucker watches one every New Year.
yeah,
Nice.
I watch one every New Year in order, and then I watch the rest during the year. Uh, I I'm excited for it. It is not connected to those films. It is its own thing. So of course it's evoking some of the look and the feel of it all. But there are just some people who are just already it's not the way they want it, and so therefore it's going to be terrible. Yo, the first trailer, I was stoked. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here to see a young Galadriel be a warrior, and I Elrond, and it's just like I'm so pumped for it. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
There's some trailers like they previewed a young Sauron,
Oh
and
yes.
people aren't hyped for it, but I am. I think it looks great. Um, it's also keep in mind, is it the most expensive TV show ever made? Yes, but it's a TV show still. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a film. It's not shot on 35 millimeter like the original trilogy was. It is a TV show made for the small screen,
Mm-hmm.
and let's remember that.
I'm gonna say it this way though. I'm gonna say it this
Yeah,
way though.
I'm gonna say it this way.
I'm gonna say it this way though. You see TV. You see. Think of some good TV in your mind's audience.
yeah,
Think of some good TV in
This
your
is
mind.
this is like TV agent Tom right now.
Now,
This is
now,
agent Tom.
Mandalorian costs more than that show. Now, Game of Thrones season 8 costs more than that show.
Really?
Stranger Things season 4 costs more than all them shows.
Love
This costs more than all those shows and Your Mama's House combined.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say it that
Talk
way,
about
where
my mama.
like it's just like I was so impressed. I've been so impressed with cinematic TV recently.
Yes.
Thank you, Watchmen. Again, something that's connected to source material, right? Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons. We had Snyder's live action version, and then we had the TV show. And the TV show is not technically connected, but it relates to that stuff. How well does it fill in? And you could just have your own multiverse of like that's that continuity. That's where it goes. You can have Jeff Johns snake ass, bitch ass.
I just
Doomsday
also
Clock
want to
over
remind
there.
people how untrue Peter Jackson's films were to the book, and so they may cover some things in this show that don't line up with the movie, but they do line up with the books.
But what
I
about
just
Tom
remember
Bombadil?
that also, not in Peter Jackson's film.
Tom
Uh,
Bombadil.
So anyway, I'm look. I
I-
think the world needs more Lord of the Rings media, and I'm here for it.
Is Steve's?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
I tend to quote him when he's not around, David Barry, when the first critiques came out about people were complaining about different ethnicities in this
Mhm.
show at one point, and he's like, if they
Like a
actually
black elf, yeah.
if they actually knew about J.R.R. Tolkien, they would know he'd have no fucking problem with that and love it.
Tolkien.
Tolkien, sorry, that he'd have no problem with it, that he'd be cool with it. So it's
Yeah.
like, shut up.
I mean, and I also say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm also say this.
Oh, Agent Tom, Agent
I'll
Tom, he's
say
back.
this. Think of the studio. This evil Jeff Bezos, Lex Luthor motherfucker has
If anyone
done
was Lex
nothing
Luthor,
but made
it's him.
really good adaptations of comic book shit. So this
It's
might be
true.
really good.
That's his pass.
That's what I'm like. It might be real good. And that's
The
There's
boys.
There's some visuals in
Invincible.
those trailers that were really stunning. In the first big, not teaser trailer, I guess it would be the first trailer that they showed before Comic-Con that came out a few weeks back. There is some imagery in there when Galadriel's talking about what she's seen and that Elrond hasn't seen what she's seen. That was just visually something I'm ready to have within the world of Lord of the Rings. And so yeah, I'm stoked.
My knowledge is that for 3 years in a row, my easy Christmas present to my future brother-in-law was getting him the extended cut DVDs.
There you
And that was
go.
3 Christmases in a row. And of course, if I got it for him, who ended up watching it with him, This guy. So
Yeah.
I know more than I ever thought I would have when it comes to Lord of the Rings because of those
I bought
easy
myself
presents.
the 4K Blu-rays that came out last year.
I think he got them too.
Yeah, I was like, need it.
Yeah.
I want to see all the Lord of the Rings clearer than ever before.
Every piece.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah. I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of other things that also pop. I mean, we got She-Hulk, and we have an appearance again. Josh will probably want to talk about that
All
next
of
week.
Phase 5 was announced.
All of Phase
Appearance in She-Hulk.
5.
We're not
David...
talking about the appearance in She-Hulk. We're not talking about the appearance in She-Hulk yet.
No. You have to come back next week, Steve's. No fucking around.
Okay.
But we'll still open up questions for people who want to talk about stuff in SDCC that they want to bring up during the questions portion. We'll move on to the second part of our show, which is going to be our questions. And if you'd like to ask questions, you can put them in the chat.
A lot coming in the chat right now.
You can put them in the chat. Our favorite way is to join our Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord, and then go through the chat channels or go through the channels through there, or go to nerdon.tv/questions. And it will send directly to us, and then we can log it all down, baby. Yes, Steve's?
That guy. Quick side note that is of lesser importance to everything we've mentioned. Mayans MC Season 5 was also announced.
Why is that lesser?
Well, I don't know if you guys cared about that show. I love that show.
I used to live right next to the Sun's lot.
That's right. Well, Mayans MC, they had a panel, and that's where it was announced Season 5 is happening.
Suns is based off of your backyard.
It is. If you're a Mayans MC fan, they're coming back, just so you know. That's all I got.
All right, so we're gonna do our first questions that are in the bank, and the first question is going to be: does Earth? This comes from Brad. Does Earth have more wheels or more doors?
No.
Why do you hate that?
I've heard this question so many times.
I've never heard of this question.
You've never heard this question?
Never.
What? It's door. People are like, oh, it's got to be wheels. There's 4 doors. There's 4 wheels on every car. People are like, yeah, there's 4 doors on every car too. And people are like, oh yeah. They're like, what about hotels? What about skyscrapers? And they're like, okay, but what about like there's trucks, there's motorcycles, there's trains technically have wheels. Like it's doesn't matter.
Have you seen the GIF of John Cena where his face gets smaller and smaller and smaller? I'm experiencing that right now with this question.
Yeah. Then people are like, what about hotels? There's doors and they go, yeah, but all the push carts for everything you need to clean and take care of, and in the hotels also have 4 wheels on each of those, and it's just like I don't want to do this.
I mean,
I get anxiety.
I'm not gonna try to answer this question, but I am gonna say that like. No. I'm just gonna say in terms of like what other things that people may not be talking about. We can get some Ethan Who stuff where it's like, isn't a window a door? And then you can get some people who are like, how about the pulley wheels? And you're like, all right.
But like then you also think about like NASCAR events where they have like 60 wheels fucking on the turn so that when people crash. You know what I mean? Like it exponentially gets bigger. Then landfills. There's doors and tires in all the landfills in all the world.
It's like Inception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And isn't your mind just the doorway to your soul?
There he is again. There he is.
So that's that's as far as we can go with that question. Next question.
Some doors even have wheels on them. So like what?
John Cena face.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question comes from T-Dog. Would you rather? Yes. Now see, I'm the only one that might get this fucking question. Would you rather have Sanji from One Piece be your personal chef, or Jason Lee Scott, the original Red Ranger, be your personal trainer?
Oh.
Sanji has got a cigarette in his mouth. In the dubs or in the American stuff, he's got a lollipop. He's known as Red Boots because he kicks the shit out of people and got blood all over his boots.
Jason Lee Scott, not the actor Austin St. John, but like the character Jason Lee Scott as my trainer.
That's right. That's the character name. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You know what?
Jason Lee Scott.
I would rather have Sanji be my chef because 1, I have a trainer, and 2, Jason gets beat by Tommy.
Yeah, he does.
Tommy also loses to Jason a couple times. Like it's a back and forth 100%.
How dare who me?
No,
me?
Corey. Tommy,
do I have to go grab my autographed Red Ranger by Austin St. John right now? Do I need to go grab it?
I share the love for Tommy with Tom. I can't help it. I'm a
Do
Tommy
I
guy
need to show my whole ass?
Fine.
I
I'll
have
sit here all day.
Green Ranger Dagger and Saba right now. I give them to my boys. I will go grab them right now.
When
Hey, look,
people
no lack of love. I got the Green Ranger dagger here too. I'm here. I'm here for it
Yeah,
all. I'm just saying.
yeah.
uh
Just saying.
Jason was my favorite and will always be.
is- Steve's mutual friend, the Drew says depends if Henry Cavill's playing Tommy. Which
Terrible casting.
I love. I don't. I mean, hey, and then I'll be like, I don't know who could beat
But-
who could beat Jason at that point.
He needs to wear the same
Rock
attire
plays
Tommy wore in
Jason.
the show.
The
Oh,
Rock
God, The
plays
Rock's-
Jason, and Henry Cavill is Tommy.
I mean, that's
Make this
Rocky,
movie
right?
Make
Yeah.
this movie happen.
Oh my god!
But I want them to wear the same attire those guys wore in the '90s series.
Yeah.
If it was the same
Yeah,
attire.
yeah.
The sleeveless hoodies and
The spandex and stuff too. Yeah,
Jason's deep tank tops that went all the way down
Uh-huh.
to here.
to the hips,
That
man.
wasn't allowed in high school. That was not allowed in high school.
They were
next-
not high schoolers. They were like 40.
Also, thank you. Who mentioned it? Someone said he's now named Black Boots now. T-Dog, for Sanji. So last banked question. Then we go to the chat questions.
Sure.
Mhm.
The last banked question is going to be. Oh, I like this one.
Okay, here we go.
Ethan Who asks,
Shout out.
Yes.
what 3 fictional characters describe you best?
Fuck.
Whoa.
Tommy, Jason.
And Trini.
I will say, you know
Aw.
what's wild.
R.I.P.
I started hiking Runyon Canyon recently because Kevin Smith
But you
does
hate
that.
hiking.
I hate hiking. Hiking can suck
I love hiking.
me off
Love hiking.
and could soak up my fat head. But anyways, I was walking up, and then who comes running down? Yoked ass Billy, David Yost.
Yeah, David
He
Yost.
was
Great
running
shit.
down, and I was like,
He looks great.
and he saw me, and then I saw him, and I was like, and he said, and I was like, I know
That was it.
That's just that once you understand, if you're not in LA, when you see celebrities, the best way you can acknowledge them if they don't want to talk to
Just
you
quietly.
is just that's it.
Well, I saw Kevin Smith in Whole Foods.
Nice.
And I saw a cart come around the corner, and I was like, oh, I was in line, and I was like, oh, let me just move my cart a little to the side. So this person, and I look up, and it's Kevin Smith, and he goes, thank you. And as he's walking by, I really quietly just go, hey man, big fan. And he just goes, fist bumps it and goes,
Nice.
I like your mask, and then walks away. And it was because I had an X-Men mask on. But
You know-
yeah, it was
Nice.
And you know what's funny
big-
because
like real quiet, real simple, just like, hey, big fan.
and with
That's
Kevin
all.
Smith,
That's it.
And with Kevin Smith, it's so funny because he's said how he's met people and they're like, oh, you don't drink and being healthy about your food. So like, I wouldn't offer you a drink or get some food. It's like, do you want to smoke together? He's someone who doesn't want to smoke with people. He's like, he smokes by himself, and I'm like, damn, like there is just like, yeah, the only way to properly, politely, just, hey man.
The quiet interaction. Tom, you were there, weren't you, when we met Will Patton at the Apple Store at
Maybe.
Arden?
I don't know.
Weren't you there?
I
I
don't
was
think
there.
so.
I know. I thought you were. I was there. Same thing. Nicest guy. He was wearing a beanie. Like, when does Will Patton ever wear a beanie in anything? But he's wearing a beanie, buying a computer for his granddaughter, and just said, "Hey,
Oh,
I've loved everything you've been." And he's all, "Thank you very much." Shakes my hand. I'm like, "Oh my God, Will Patton! It's freaking Will Patton!" He's just, Armageddon.
that's a big one.
Army-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
what 3 fictional characters describe us each?
Ugh.
Yeah, this is tough. They're all gonna be X-Men probably, right? Or maybe I don't know.
Okay. Terry
I'm gonna
McGinnis.
avoid-
Terry
Wait,
McGinnis
go,
is
go.
1.
Okay.
Terry McGinnis is 1.
Yeah.
Terry McGinnis is 1. I almost want to say Magneto, but I think there's an anime character that's closer to like what I'm talking about for Magneto.
Okay.
I don't know who that would be. Vegeta.
Vegeta?
Terry McGinnis,
Vegeta.
Vegeta, and then I gotta have someone else who's Oh, I mean, Brock from Pokemon. Those are the 3. Terry McGinnis, Brock from Pokemon, and Vegeta. I wanted to pick Magneto because like there are some times where it's like, man, I swear to God, I should not have absolute power in the world, or else I would just bad people gone. Just no, you're gone. It's like you violated the rights of someone else, gone. You are done. So yeah. But Vegeta, like,
It's hard.
yeah, that's my boy. Mo, Larry, and Curly love Hammer. Okay. Sokka for Tom.
Right.
See, Sokka is a good with Brock. You know, like maybe okay. I'll pick Sokka over, but he's older brother. I mean, Brock's older brother too. Mo, Larry, and Curly.
I don't know, Tom. What are my 3 characters?
Corey in his mind.
What do I, because they always say that thing like, there's the idea of how you think you are portraying yourself, and then the way you're actually portraying yourself is very different. So like, I could pick 3 characters, I think, but I feel like everyone would be like, that's not right. Like, I don't know. I don't know what mine would be.
I'm gonna try. I'm
For
going.
you.
I'm going. Yeah, for me.
Okay.
I'm going to avoid choosing this guy because a wrestling character can pretty much be who they really are with the volume at 10. So I'm gonna
with the mask.
I'm gonna eliminate that. I'm going to say Matt Murdock.
Catholic boy?
I was.
You look like it.
Booster Gold.
Oh.
And because my humor goes in that direction, Deadpool.
Oh.
Dig it.
Those 3.
Oh. Okay.
Those 3.
I remember a long
Daredevil, Deadpool,
time ago.
what was the last one?
It was Daredevil, Booster Gold, and Deadpool.
Yeah, Booster Gold. Booster Gold makes sense.
All right, Corey, you want this? You want this?
Yeah.
Some of this?
You do it, Tom.
Okay, you want this? All right, hold on. Let
Are
me.
you
I don't know the name of the guy, but I know the movie and exactly where it's from. Okay, you are Oliver Fields, Obi-Wan, and and Gandalf.
Oliver
Nice.
Fields, is that from Beginners?
Yes, it is.
So
two
two Ewan
Ewan
McGregor
McGregors. If we all know, if there was like a young Gandalf, it's like put Ewan in there.
Yeah. All right, I'll take that.
I would say for sure it was gonna be the Beginners and then Gandalf for me.
Yeah.
Because I think
I
there
thought
is
Oliver from Beginners also.
because for sure, like with Oliver, there is a sense of like, because there's actually a scene I've been thinking about a lot, and I was gonna make this like almost the precipice of like a video essay I wanted to write
In that movie?
In that movie. And I was thinking about it, and like that character is reflexive and reflecting, and they're thinking about their life, and they're thinking about what the choices they've made and the decisions they've gone through and the relationships they have. Where you do that quite a bit, and it's so much more on that level of like where your relationships are. And then there's the Gandalf side that comes in of like the best way to kind of celebrate that is to rejoice and have fun. Gandalf the Grey, not Gandalf the White.
No.
You know, smoke some pipes and then blow some
Ships.
through them. And then the third character, I would say, you know what? This is going to be the spice, the like maybe this doesn't fit, but for the flavor and the theme for how I see you,
Forge?
Like to talk to technology.
Yeah. All right, I dig it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take those. Those are my 3.
Okay.
I almost said Colossus just because he's like, I just want to do good. But
Oh, then if you're
yeah.
Colossus, I can cuss you out.
Yeah.
Cockblocker.
And Vegeta just kills everybody.
Chat questions?
Chat questions. Okay.
Chat questions.
All right. So let's do. Okay. Let's do. Okay. So
Made a
first
lot
one.
come in.
First one's from Drew. I'm gonna go. Drew. Shout out to you, bro. Wondering if we are getting close, getting some college Young Avengers set up with how MIT is where Riri Williams and now MJ, Ned Leeds, and Peter potentially would be attending. Also seems like maybe West Coast Young Avengers with the Foundation in Oakland. Also Caltech being set up for Bruno from Miss Marvel. Have not watched Miss Marvel at all. If you spoil this, I will kill you.
He's doing this. I'm giving you this. That's all. That's what I thought. That's what I thought of it.
I was like, I feel like Steve's is actually a little bit closer to the Marvel pulse than I am. I'm much more connected to like the overall big storylines in comics. But this stuff, it potentially could be. I could see that happening, especially with the integration of Disney Plus shows, creating this younger storyline for our characters. But the thing is about Tom Holland and Peter Parker, he's getting older. They're having to do Spider-Man freshman year, which is an animated series, is not part of the quote-unquote MCU 616. And it completely displaces the Avengers with all the correct Spider-Man characters of Norman Osborn taking Harry under his wing and all that stuff. And it's very interesting, especially that Norman Osborn looks a lot like how 90s Lex Luthor looks like, where it's like, is he black or is he tan?
Can't tell.
It's like, does that matter? No, but it's also Clancy Brown's like, is he black? No.
Could be Billy. Could be Billy Zane, but is it? I don't
know. As long as the voice sounds great. I mean, Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor is just iconic.
Oh God. So good.
I think that's very. To me, I would say like this, Drew. I think that would be smart. It would be effective. Would it be surprising? No. Would it be satisfying? It depends how they execute it. If it feels like it's just rammed down our throats, kind of like there's no pizzazz, there's nothing really to get interested into. To me, Spider-Man's such a very big property and a character. Like Sony's just, God, holding on to a dear life. It's like Marvel has to make Disney Marvel has to make sure that they're giving him the proper amount of like, hey man, this is our a cash cow, and we also have to split that cow. So, but I think the idea of how Young Avengers with Riri and MIT, how that's all playing together, I think that's all very par for the course. Next question.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ethan, you asked a question that would just take us forever. That's a whole fucking episode. Okay, so Johnny Horror, 1992 Johnny Horror asks, better question: if you are with a celebrity and you want to show off your cooking skills, who's the celebrity you with, and what are you making?
Dude, the celebrity chef that we're with.
I guess, yeah.
It's got to be Guy Fieri, because I feel like
it's a party.
Well, he's like open to anything, and he won't look down on if I use some like simpler ingredients. Like, look, I love Gordon Ramsay all day, but if I made him the trailer trash cheese bubbles, Tom, there's no way. But I feel like Guy Fieri would be like, this is great, this is awesome, these are so flavorful. Like, it's like such my mom and I call them trailer trash cheese bubbles, because it's like mayonnaise and cheese on a baguette with green onions and flavor, and they're heavenly little bite-sized hors d'oeuvres, and I would make those for him. But I feel like Guy Fieri would just be like super down and not really like judgmental for what I'm cooking, and really kind of open-minded to try whatever it is I was willing to cook.
I believe that would have killer flavor.
It is. When I see, I'll make them for you. It'll happen.
Okay. All right.
Steve's?
Chefs. You know what? I'm gonna alter, because I would make them all upset. I'm gonna say I'm gonna make cocktails with food and drink connoisseur Stanley Tucci.
Oh yeah.
He's not a chef, but he knows his drinks, and
I watched his show.
Mm-hmm.
I watched his travel show. He knows how to cook.
I could listen to Tucci talk about ants walking down the street, and I'd be interested. Yeah.
They should have that show.
There it is. Stanley Tucci talks about ants.
For me, so I'm sure. If you are with a celebrity and you want to show off your cooking skills, okay, so I have to show off this celebrity that I'm cooking, and I have a celebrity chef with me. Okay.
No. I think they're saying. Oh, where did I get celebrity chef from?
I have no idea. If you are with a celebrity and you want to show off your cooking skills, who's the celebrity?
I thought you said celebrity chef. Well, I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it. Guy Fieri.
Mine still works. Stanley Tucci.
Yours didn't change.
If I'm the celebrity, man, shit, I'm single as fuck. I'm gonna be trying to, use my cooking skills on a lady, on a lady,
McAdams.
trying to wine, dine, and
Rachel McAdams.
Shut your mouth.
Not Rachel McAdams. That's Corey. He will kill me. No, he won't kill me. He'll be like, Tom, you have to invite me over, and I'm like, all I was like, go bring Dana, go bring the baby.
I'll make trailer trash cheese bubbles.
I mean, the thing is, like, I would love to cook with Maddie Masson, but also I don't want my entire place to be on fire. So if I was gonna cook for a celebrity, it'd be cooking with Chloe Bennett because, I feel like, you know, all respect to Quake and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but she dated Logan Paul, and I'm like, girl, you must just been deprived in life and just made bad decisions. So let me show you some good cooking or something. But if I had to like actually try to show, yeah, Steve?
Newly signed to WWE, Logan Paul.
Your boy, that's your boy now.
Yeah. He's fighting the Miz. He's got a thing with the Miz right now. It's great.
And if I were actually to cook with a chef, it'd probably be Dave Chang.
Nice.
He's
not popular on the internet today.
Oh, would he say something stupid?
Oh no, what'd he say?
Yeah, he said Nope was one of the worst movies he's ever seen.
Oh, he's talking about Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Dave Chang.
No.
Oh yeah, no.
Logan Paul.
Because Logan Paul is a fucking idiot, Claude, and he like.
And everyone's like, someone didn't get the movie.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
where's all the scary stuff?
Without spoilers, I'm like,
yeah.
There's a pointed message there. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next question.
Yeah.
Next question. We probably got time for 2 to 3 more, depending on the length.
I like it.
So next question. I like this one from Heroic
Wait,
Adamus.
sorry, real quick. Before you go into that, I have to shout out to Steve's real quick for sending me a screen grab of a Twitter conversation between a fan and Jordan Peele from a week back.
Oh, was it? He put the phone down?
Yeah, this guy says, you know, can we just all say that Jordan Peele is the greatest horror film director of all time? I can't think of another horror director who's had 3 great films, rather not even 3 in a row. And Jordan Peele's like, put the phone down. I will not stand for any John Carpenter slander.
And then Letterboxd posted a thing where it's like, sometimes you know, like you can never have a masterpiece, another masterpiece, another masterpiece, another masterpiece, and they did 6 movies in a row, and I was like, whoa, those are all very iconic horror movies.
Yeah,
like not even all of them are horror movies. They're like Escape from New York and stuff like that. And I was like, God damn.
Anyway, continue. Yes.
So the next question from Heroic Adamus. Steve, this might be some terminology you'll have to learn. What is the theme song for your magical girl transformation? So, you know Sailor Moon?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's a song that plays. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you know, dun, 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 dun. What's the song that plays when you transform into a
Welcome Home, Coheed and Cambria.
Oh yeah, it's the one that would be my wrestling entrance theme. Till I Collapse by Eminem and Nate Dogg.
Okay.
That would be my wrestling entrance. That would be my transformation music.
I'm reading the chat. Love Hammer, Age of Aquarius.
This is the age of Aquarius.
Mine's probably gonna be Rob Zombie, Dragula.
Nice.
You know, just evil.
Appreciate that.
I just want evil.
Appreciate that.
More
questions.
We
took up a lot of news time.
Keep them coming.
So, Brad Reprint, I love this question.
Till I Collapse.
What's your favorite San Diego Comic-Con moment of all time? Mine's the Batman v Superman reveal, Harry Lennox and all. And you know what? I second that. That's probably my favorite because I see that, and that the thing is that sucks is that so people got to see that. People like live at the time saw that happen. It probably could have been Infinity War. But the thing is that reveal was behind closed doors. No one saw that shit until it digitally released for everyone. So like it wasn't technically it's not part of like a collective San Diego Comic-Con moment that I could have participated in. Because I just heard people being like, and then a moon got grabbed and Thanos punched it, and you're like, this sounds amazing, right? That could have very well been like the number one. But the BVS one, everyone saw it at the same time, and to me I'm like, I agree. And Henry Lennox reading off The Dark Knight Returns, like, and so it's like, remember this moment with my hand around your neck, Clark. And it's like, ooh, and it's Harry Lennox, and he's just such a good performer, and he's just delivering it. And then like everyone's holding their phones up, and then the room goes dark, and then they see the Superman symbol. You're like, of course it's a sequel. And then they see the bat come back, and you're like, oh my god. And that's the thing where it's just like no one, unfortunately, right? Avengers. Like if Avengers is what Avengers is we are in phase 5. There's 2 more movies coming out of this pantheon powerhouse $1 billion franchise. But never ever has there ever been such a crazy, like, who would have thunk we live in a world where Batman and Superman would have been in the same movie? Like, at that time, that timing was just like, we're in a new age. We're like, not really, a lot of people knew that Iron Man and Thor could hang out in the same movie, and a lot of people were like, this is very interesting and cool. Comic book fans for sure, but like, Superman and Batman had just, concreted, cemented themselves into pop culture in a way beyond comic books for such a long time. And so that was just like huge. That was just so huge.
I mean, I'd have to agree with that one. If I had to pick something different specifically for Spice of Life, it's the Bryan Cranston walking around in a Bryan Cranston mask for the entire day of Comic-Con, and then walking on stage and taking it off, and the crowd losing it because they all fucking took pictures with him and had no idea it was really Bryan Cranston. That's still one of my favorite. I think Andrew Garfield did the same thing in a Spider-Man costume. He walked around Comic-Con all day in like a 99-cent store Spider-Man costume, and then ran up on stage and then took his mask off, and people were like, what the fuck? So yeah, any time that a celebrity's just been able to go enjoy themselves.
True.
I like it.
Like Henry Cavill walking around with the V for Vendetta mask.
Yeah.
Steve's?
Well, you've named BVS. You already mentioned all the Avengers stuff. I'm, because those are mentioned already, I'm going to throw out the fact that my boy showed up not just promoting his movie, but dressed up as Black Adam.
That's a pretty good way
and put on a show. And I'm like, 25 years ago, this guy was broke and trying to make it in wrestling, and now he's commanding Comic-Con. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna
highest paid actors of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
I got respect for him and Cena, like having no problem. Like when Cena did the press tour in the Peacemaker costume. Oh, loved it, dude. That guy is like
every single late show.
I was just like, man, if I was a part of this project, I'd be so fucking proud of him. I'd be like, dude, this guy. Thank God he's on our team. Cena.
I wish all the WWE stars that are coming into the movies like got to present their films that way. That'd be just like, that would just take, I think, San Diego Comic-Con to another level too, just where it's like a performative thing and everyone gets to be excited because everyone's already dressed up and all that stuff. But it's like the bring the carnival level to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
I saw a graphic that said that Roman Reigns, Rock's cousin, should be Lobo, and I'm like, you know what? I could see that. I could see Roman Reigns as Lobo. I could see it. He might have an cousin.
Man, that means they both gonna be fighting Superman.
That's pretty cool.
That being said, last question for the night.
Yeah.
Last question.
Sure.
This has come from T-Dog, since you mentioned it. He had one earlier. Question: would you work graveyard shift, taking care of a graveyard, for $35 an hour?
Yes.
No.
I've been in a graveyard at night before, so I'm cool with it.
And plus, Steve likes to decorate his house like a graveyard, and so does Corey.
For 2 months.
I do, but those I would hate those hours. I just wouldn't be. I would miss everything my daughter does.
True.
And I ain't doing it.
I've seen my boys. Listen, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Give me a few years.
One of them has my name, so he's like, all right, I'm over it.
Yeah. But not only that, I would do it dressed as the Undertaker, playing the Undertaker's music the whole time I'm working.
And you would definitely find some way to
hat, coat, just walk slowly throughout the entire graveyard.
Would I do that? I mean, if it has like the normal, like, accommodations of air conditioning, a chair, a fridge for like work, because graveyard that's late night, and so it's like obviously I got to get a lot of writing and reading done. Hopefully they got Wi-Fi. If they got all that shit, sure, that would take me to leave my current job. At this point,
graveyards are always cold. They're always cold, graveyards. Haven't you seen the movies?
Have you been to LA when it's summer?
The graveyards are cold. Yeah. Still in
They're
LA.
Always foggy. They're always foggy. They're always foggy and cold.
There's all the condensation everywhere from the dead bodies is coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's sounds that don't make sense. It's all part of it.
Yeah, come on. Just wear the coat and the hat. You're good.
Yep.
I mean, I might get like
motorcycle.
I might get like a brown blazer.
That's how you get around the graveyard.
I would definitely get a brown trench coat, get some cigarettes, probably just try to get some book of the.
Yeah, Steve gets it.
Yeah. I was trying to be Hellblazer instead.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Constantine.
But I think that's all the questions we got for tonight. That is our whole show. We're gonna just do a little post talk and chat and all that stuff. I'm glad so many questions today. And
so many chattings happening.
So many
There's
chats.
just too many questions.
Thank you. I mean, not to me, not enough. I want questions to be able to like, cool. We have questions for the year. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the questions coming out. See some familiar names, but not names I've seen in a long time on the chat. Did you guys enjoy, you audience members? That's all the show we got. Could you imagine us doing this shit at a cantina that's lightly themed as Star Wars? Not lightly. It's literally named the Scum and Villainy Cantina.
Or at Comic-Con next year. Get us there.
I mean, now, I mean, there more and more of us have gone to Comic-Con, and you know, also I will say about Amy, all these hookups to like, oh yeah, we know the Sony guy here that will get us to like watch this movie premiere. I was like, what? I work in the industry. I don't get this shit. Like, I got an invite to go to a studio's theater to watch a movie that came out last month, and I'm like, what is this?
Although it took us 4 hours to drive there. It's supposed to be a 2-hour drive. It took us almost 4.5 hours. It was
God bless.
grueling. But
God bless.
then we got a night away from just ourselves, which was nice.
Hey,
Hey, Grandma watching the babe. Yeah, it was nice.
I mean,
we slept.
I'll say this.
A little romantic.
I would love
romantic.
I will have a 365-day clock countdown of just like we do the Nerd On update live at Comic-Con. We bring all the Crusaders there, but the opening segment is me and Steve's wrestling.
Hey, make it happen. Make it happen.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
I mean, I would totally do, and we would just do all the promos. I'm just doing everything that's martial arts.
Jimmy
and all
Hart?
Stuff.
Cut promo. You could be Jimmy Hart.
Maybe Jimmy Hart.
Your bullhorn.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna be
a blazer with hearts all over it.
No, Corey, you're gonna be in the wet T-shirt contest.
Yes.
Oh.
Aha.
Well, we have Jack Nicholson up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay.
I am the wet T-shirt contest.
That's it. That's our show, everyone. We're gonna send you off to some other lovely people on Twitch. Check out our Discord. It's free. If you like what you watched and you're aching for our podcast to come back, join our Patreon. It supports us, gets reimbursed for our short film that we shot last month. Check out the Capes Crusaders. Check out our YouTube channel. It's got all the re-uploaded stuff that we have here. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Continue the conversation on the Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord, to just talk about all things you love about San Diego Comic-Con. It's free, baby. It's free.
It's free 90 free.
Yeah. Did I miss any plugs? Anyone like that? No?
No.
We all good?
Matter.
I'm going to send y'all to Octopimp. They're playing some Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Thank you, everyone. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.